guys, we are back for round 3 of trying to get a good SENA 20s unit. Now this second one I received a while back has been really good as far as communication and communicating with the GP10 unit, but one of its big selling features was the built-in FM radio, and it still is completely broken. So I contacted SENA several weeks ago, and they finally got me another unit. So third time's a charm, right? They did admit that they've had a lot of hardware problems with these since launch, obviously. But they said that over the past few weeks they have completely upped their game with quality control, which probably means they're actually checking units coming off the line wherever they're being manufactured. And they promise this time that this new unit is going to have a fixed radio. So what I'm going to do is just swap out the main unit. I don't need to swap out the base unit that it attaches to. There's no electronics for that. There's no electronics in that for the radio. So this is just basically connecting the brain to the mic and to the speakers and to anything external you have and a clamp. So I don't need to remove all this and redo my helmet. It's really a pain in the butt, especially once you do it a couple times for nothing. Don't mind the first time, but when it's needless, it kind of gets annoying. So the first thing I have to do, obviously, is charge it up and flash it with the latest firmware if it's not already on it, which I doubt it is. And then I'll just put in a couple radio stations and give it a test. Now, if it's no different, I'm just putting my old unit back on, so I don't have to set everything up completely and well, I guess at that point it really doesn't matter. I'm most of the way there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the computer now. We'll get it set up, and I'll come back for a test and see what happens. Okay, new unit charged, firmware updated, couple radio presets in. I'm going to go ahead and install this and turn it on. Okay, we've got a connection. Now let's see, I have to remember how to turn on the FM radio with the buttons, because they've changed everything. They've changed it several times, how the buttons and everything functions. The manual's completely outdated. You have to download the latest PDFs from the website. No, that's not it. 1 is still to pull up the phone communications, twice is speed dial. Let's see. Okay, so I canceled. Now let me try holding it in.
FM on 87.5.
Hey, I hear music. Woohoo! Let's see. Try to remember. Okay, well that's a default 87.5. I'm actually surprised there's a radio station there. I put in a couple presets. Let me try to remember how to.
193.3.
Okay, there's my number 1 preset. Hopefully you can't hear that because that'll give me a copyright ding on YouTube. Let me try number 2. 102.5. It announces the station, and it's working. All right. Well, that's very cool. I'm going to go ahead and reset this. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Now we'll hear static again. See, this is a problem that we were having. Let me walk this around the room real quick here. Not so good. See if you can hear this. It's super staticky. I mean, just moving it, I'm just rotating it around the phone here, completely staticky in the back of it. It's okay right here in the middle of the table. That's basically it. I'm walking all around the room here and it's just same as the old one. So unfortunately, damn. Now see, now it's all staticky right here in the middle of the table. Okay, so enough of that. Let me turn this off. Well, that sucks. Man, that had me excited. Just happens to be this one little spot in the room where it was working okay. Well, exactly the same as the old unit. So, you know what? Let me go ahead and hook it up to the new base unit. I'm just going to hold it in my hand. I don't need to attach it to the helmet. Just to rule it out. Just to make sure there's nothing in this that may have been updated too. So if we get any different performance, that'll mean it is the base unit doing it. Just to be completely fair, so I don't want to slam a company when it's not truly their fault, and I don't want to send this back when I could have had a good unit. Man, is that tight. They've also, so I heard, changed the engineering a little bit, probably in the materials of this mount, although I don't see any difference. It does look a little bigger. Basically, the way these connect, it sucks. The old SMH10s were a hell of a lot better. They just slide down and click into place with a nice, simple plastic tab. Well, these guys, this one piece here, this back is in the inside of the helmet, ignore that. This piece here just slides in this groove, and all you have holding this thing to the base unit is this little tiny tab here that moves when you depress this, and that just unlocks from this little tiny slot right here, and all that's keeping that in place is this little, I mean, fraction of a millimeter worth of plastic sticking out. You probably can't even see it. It's so minuscule. You can barely feel it with your hand. I mean, it feels like flashing. See how these panels are here? That's what it feels like, and that's about the size of it. That is the only thing holding this damn thing on. And that's breaking. That's, the tolerance isn't that great. And some people's units aren't staying snapped down. And even if they're just almost all the way down, what happens is these pins, and it sucks taking this thing off, these pins don't make contact with the pads unless it is 100% snapped down in place. So you lose communication and you lose audio. So you just, I mean, that's it. You can't even see it move. You can just feel it click and hear it a little bit. So let me extend this out, because this longer headphone cable is the FM antenna, which in my helmet is looped around the unit, stretched out. Alright, so let's power it back on. Hello. Hold it in for the radio.
FM on 102.5. In order to get out of it, you literally have to shut off your entire system.
Alright, now I'm going to just walk it around the room again.
I mean, granted, there are people that,
Nope. Exactly the same. Lots and lots of static. I mean, it's like the old TVs where you have a piece of aluminum foil on the rabbit ears and you're standing just to get the one right spot. That is exactly what this thing is doing for radio. Absolutely unacceptable. There is zero reason why any kind of radio should have any kind of interference issue. It's just ridiculous. I am right in the middle of all these stations. These are all close city stations. I never, ever, ever have had static on any radio ever in this area. I mean, it's just, these are big, powerful stations. It simply does not happen. It is 100% the fault of this unit. So I have to say, quality control for SENA, as far as the FM radio, absolutely sucks. If you need an FM tuner, you are most likely not going to get one out of the 20S unit. Absolutely abysmal. There is no excuse for it, and I am absolutely done giving them chances. It's just ridiculous. So this piece of shit is going back. I'm just going to put my old unit back on, since it is 100% identical so far in operation no better whatsoever as far as the radio. So their promises meant absolutely nothing. And that's that. Be warned, guys. Hope this helps somebody. See you next time.